And we're live with another podcast. Mike here with Jeff again. And yeah.
I don't want to do this today with
No?
Mike.
But you know what I thought that could really spruce up our podcast, Jeff?
Oh, God. I can't wait.
If we got a mascot. Something with like orange hair
Yeah, and like a
weird
beard.
Face,
Oh, wait.
Grimace-esque.
Wait. Scott Hartnell. I knew it.
Yeah.
Or
He's in
better,
yeah.
better, Jake Voracek.
But I don't know how well you can really use him with him already playing.
Oh, true. Yeah. What about Gritty, the Flyers' brand new mascot?
Yes.
Wow.
That beautiful creature.
So my initial thoughts. So the Flyers once had a mascot back in the 60s or 70s named Slapshot. And my God, I thought that thing was terrifying until I saw this today.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
This I texted our good friend Matt Bevanor. I said it's 11:22 a.m. and I'm already having nightmares about this thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I just never get the point in mascots in general, but more so for hockey. Just because I feel like it's more of a headache for someone to be a NHL mascot because you can't move at all while game's in progress.
Yeah.
So you're either really out during intermission or whatever.
Yeah.
And also I feel outside. I think outside of like baseball or football or whatever, I don't see
right
like a kids kind of thing to get them kind of entertained because their attention span isn't.
I just
changed a lot, but I just never got the point in mascots.
Here's the thing, though. Excuse me. The Flyers are being ripped apart for this.
Everyone.
One. I'm looking at some of the comments now, and there's a GIF from the movie Monsters Inc. And the quote is, "Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me." It's
if you haven't seen, it's like a Elmo/Grimace thing with
it's
a Muppet
it's
head.
It's
with a lot
literally
of hair,
think of
with a lion's
Grimace
mane,
but Grimace the purple creature.
Yeah.
What was that from?
Yeah.
Sesame Street?
No, it was from McDonald's.
Oh, that's from McDonald's. Oh God.
Yeah.
But anyway, think of that except orange with a beard.
With a lion's mane.
Oh my God, it's quite terrifying.
Could you imagine a kid just sitting in the stands though?
Oh no!
And it just randomly sits behind you, and you look around. It's like, oh no, what is that? It's just gonna give people nightmares.
Oh my God, this is frightening. It's almost the exact replica of the Montreal Canadiens mascot.
Yeah, I mean, it is almost Halloween time, so
yes, that's it.
Gotta make it look Halloween.
It's just it's a little bit bigger and has thicker beard. Wow, so
it's actually a person. Because I never really thought, how can you even do a mascot with the Flyers?
yeah. Oh my God!
And they
someone looked up the term masclophobia, and it's the fear of people in masks and costumes such as mascots. Oh no!
And I think the Flyers' new mascot is the mascot of that.
Oh my gosh, this is something else.
Yeah, you know it's not good when the Flyers are the fourth one trending.
Yeah,
and Grady's number 3.
Nice.
That's
oh
about
no!
Bill Cosby.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun. This is even the Penguins tweeted it out.
Of course they did. Why wouldn't they?
Something about the
you don't
mascot.
think they're gonna have a field day with this?
Oh, they already have.
Yeah, it's just.
I
don't like
anything else.
Not on the mascot.
Okay, well that's what I was asking.
But to kind of transition a little bit here towards like, if we can.
Oh, actually, really quickly, here's some comments from Flyers players.
Yeah,
Carson Twarynski said that's tough. Wayne Simmons said, "It's not my mascot. I've never seen that thing before in my life." Oh boy, here's even with the Penguins had they said LOL okay for the Flyers' new mascot. So it's they're.
I mean, I always wonder what the Flyers were missing, and it was the mascot. So
Yeah, but anyway, trying to move on
a little bit here.
What would you like to talk about first?
In the middle of the week, last week, kind of, I forget when it happened, but the Max Domi play.
Yes, absolutely. So last week in a preseason game against the between the Montreal Canadiens and the Florida Panthers, Max Domi he sucker punched Aaron Ekblad,
After,
and
like,
Ekblad ended up with a broken nose and a few black eyes.
And if you see the play, like, it starts out rough, he's not trying to be a fight. He's just trying to be aggressive to try to get him away from the puck.
Yeah, I don't
Which
even
for some
know.
reason he felt the need to start like throwing punches or whatever.
Right, because the only thing I can think is this is also why I want to see more players mic'd up. I want to hear or like just know what happened to cause Domi to
I think it was just kind of a heat of the moment thing.
Yeah.
He got pushed back a couple times, and then he was like, okay, that's it. And he thought he was going to throw the gloves, which he didn't, which he should have said, okay, but then he threw a punch.
So I think this is what started, according to ESPN.com, it was last Wednesday night. Ekblad delivered a slash to Domi's stick. Domi tugged at Ekblad's jersey in an effort to get him to fight. However, Ekblad refused to fight. Then Domi decided to drop his glove and punch him twice in the face. Domi was assessed a match penalty as well as a minor penalty for roughing. And all Domi gets for this is he's suspended for the rest of preseason. And that's it.
Yeah. Do you think it should have been more, or do you think it should have started the regular season?
That should start in the regular season.
But if you were in like the player safety or whatever, delivering the suspension, how long would you have given it? If it was like a regular season.
Well, here's the thing, though. I don't know, because yes, it was a dirty play, but it's tough because something that the NHL needs to do is they they need to keep track of every single suspension for each player,
right?
You know, because I think if Domi has, because this is honestly one of the first times he's really been suspended, so that gives him leeway right there. If he's been suspended more than once, or has had a few other cheap plays, then I could see the suspension easily being 3 to 5 games up into the regular season. But because he's a first-time offender,
right?
Preseason, I guess I would. If I was the NHL Department of Player Safety in this situation, I would easily suspend him for the rest of preseason. Yeah, but that's nothing. And I would suspend him at least 1, maybe probably even 2 games in the regular season.
And with a player like Max Domi, he's probably only going to play like 1 or 2 more games preseason anyways.
Yeah, exactly. So
but
it's literally no point.
If it was me, if it was a regular season thing, I probably would have given him like 2 or 3. Because compared to other kind of things,
right,
like player things that have been like questioned or whatever, that have had people suspended, like Gudas's / last season.
Yeah,
or like,
and that wasn't even called until because the refs didn't even call a penalty on that until the fans started howling.
The only thing against it's more the heading of the head and everything, or boards play. That's really the ones that get on, which is why I'm surprised. Martin never got one, but
yeah,
you know, but.
Yeah. So overall, so here's some quotes from that particular incident. Domi said at a Canadiens camp on Friday, "I feel bad about it. It's not the way I wanted to handle that. It's an emotional game, and obviously I'm an emotional player. I've known Aaron for a long time, grew up playing against each other. We always play hard, always battle, whether it was in minor hockey, junior, national level, and now in the NHL. By no means did I want to hurt him. I feel bad about it. I hope he's okay, but you know what? I've got to suffer the consequences of it. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is, and I definitely respect the league's decision." So he's at least
he is
admitting he was in the wrong, and
and Ekblad did say he was gonna.
So
which you can assume just because.
Oh yeah, he was not in an understanding mood. The 22-year-old has 2 black eyes after the punch, which is kind of
And
interesting.
a broken nose.
Yeah, and a broken nose. He said, I think he's stupid for doing it. In the end, it's hockey. That's the way it goes. Scores will get settled at a later date. So,
They don't play until like January or whatever. So
yeah.
By then, I don't know how big of a deal this is going to be, but
Right. Ekbach continued to say it looked like Max was frustrated. Obviously, he wasn't doing much in the game. He thought it was the right way to take care of something. I'm not sure what there was to take care of, considering I really didn't do much on the ice, floating around on the ice trying to find my legs. That's what you do in the preseason. Ekbach continued to comment, it's kind of a gift. I don't want to comment too much on the league's decision, but I think it's wrong. That's life, though. They're going to make false judgments. I guess that's the way it is. And he was saying it's kind of a gift with the thing about the not being satisfied with the suspension.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that there. Other news going around the league, Danik Martel got claimed on waivers
more of a Flyers thing, but yeah,
by the Tampa Bay Lightning. A small but very fast and
someone that can bring a little skill to
yeah,
the fourth line.
Skillful player got claimed by the Bolts, and he definitely will be missed. But
he will be, but with the roster the Flyers going to have,
I don't know if he was ever going to make the team. Unfortunately, I hate saying that because he's a talented guy.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Turinsky doing so well, he probably had a bigger chance of it. But seeing how well he is, but I don't know how well Turinsky's even going to stay up for either.
Right, so that's
because it really is. Because he's kind of battling with Lier, and Lier's done pretty well too.
Yes,
so far.
Absolutely. So far here are
just thinking wingers wise, it's already kind of a depth thing, anyways. Because you already have Weiss, that's going to be a healthy scratch most likely, and all this.
Lier could be a possible healthy scratch. However, he's looked well.
Yes, but I'm just saying why.
Center
position is more of a thing where like a young guy could come in, like Warboyov will be.
Right.
Where winger, there's a little more depth.
Yes. And then some other moves that the Flyers had made. They sent down. They announced 10 players who were loaned to the Phantoms, and 1 or more sent to the junior teams to bring the roster to 25 forwards, 10 defensemen, and 5 goalies. Final cuts are due by October 2nd, which is 8 days away, next Tuesday, as the Flyers will then have their first game in Vegas.
That is, you said October 2nd?
Yes.
That is next Tuesday.
Yes. And the Flyers will have their opening, their season opener October 4th against the Vegas Golden Knights, the defending Western Conference champions. But here are some of the players that they sent down to the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. The Phantoms captain, Colin McDonald, Dave DeCase, Zach Palmquist, Reese Wilcox, German Rubasov, Frank Hora.
Good and had
he
praise.
did.
He got some praises from Hextall, too.
Yeah, Rubasov did, in fact, receive some good praises there, which is good to see. A former first-round pick.
And then you also have from the first few cuts from
also Mike Vecchioni, James DeHaas, Connor Bunneman, and Yegor Zamala, who even got a contract.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is
good for him because I think that was a guy the Flyers really liked.
Yeah, for sure. Other news going on.
And they didn't want to lose him because if they lost him, he would have gone to the draft.
Yes. Alex Lyon is out 4 weeks officially.
And then, of course, Isaac Ratcliffe went back to juniors as well as Morgan Frost.
Yes, Morgan Frost.
He will be missed. But as kind of pointed out, he kind of had his rookie kind of mistakes and everything.
Yeah, no, I agree.
They both kind of need some more time to develop, but...
Oh, that's my fault. I think I'm pulling on that. You are. But...
Which, I mean, you can kind of guess with him. It's like his first time at camp or whatever, or second time, I guess. But he's still a young guy, so it's not the worst thing to go back to.
I'm not worried about it.
He would have had a perfect.
He really would have
training camp to
beat but I'm okay with that. So But moving forward, So it sounds like Sanheim has missed the last 2 practice days and felt Myers' chances of making the team are looking even better. The only non-game guys are on the ice for the Flyers this morning. That leaves 6 defensemen, including Andrew McDonald, so he may be in tonight.
He most likely
The non-playing forwards on the ice in blue are Taylor Lear, Wayne Simmons, Tyrell Goulbourne, also Radko Gudas, Travis Sanheim, and Mark Freeman. So sounds like Sanheim was practicing, which is good.
Mm-hmm. But what also probably means is, Hextall noted yesterday that cuts will probably be tomorrow.
Yes.
And it's probably not a good sign for Goulbourne and Friedman that they're not.
It is not. So
they're probably going to be the ones going down.
Yeah. So here's my question, though.
Because I'm actually kind of surprised Goulbourne hasn't gone down yet. Terensky, not so much, but Goulbourne I haven't really noticed much.
Right.
Like, I know he came up a little bit last season or whatever. He had some plays. He made the one hit or whatever in his first game for the assist.
Yep. No, I remember. That was a pretty cool play there.
And then the goal by Scott.
Lawton, yep. So here's the question now. What players are left that are reasonably able to, that will most likely
make the team?
Well, no, get sent down. Because the other players that got sent down the other day was Cole Bardreau, T.J. Brennan, Phil Verone, Greg Carey, and Radolf Fezlev, with, of course, Danik Martel getting claimed off waivers. As a result, because of all of those moves, the Flyers training camp roster is now at 35 players. Who?
LeBerge might be still up, but I think he's hurt.
Yeah. LeBerge, I think, is still up, as you noted, and he'll go down at some point. So that would be 34. I'm trying to think of looking at the current roster right now. Yeah, LeBerge is still up. So looking at the current roster, the only ones I really see getting sent down, LeBerge, Goulbourne, that's 2. So that'd be 33 players. Friedman. That would be 32, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Friedman. Oh man, this is tough. Technically, Marin, because the Flyers, it does have them on the Flyers roster, but he's not playing.
Mm-hmm. And then they'll just put him on the long-term injury thing.
So that's already 31 right there. Then it comes down to a very tough decision. Corbin Knight, who's been good in the preseason,
he'll probably get. He's been praised too a couple times.
He has been, and that's why, as much as I wouldn't mind him staying on the team, I think he'll get cut, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have the goalie issue, because Elliott and Neuver are obviously on the for the Flyers, they won't get sent down, but Neuver's out for a little bit because we don't know what the extent of his injury is.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have Carter Hart.
Still won't say anything about him.
Right. I haven't seen anything yet. Carter Hart, Alex Line, and Anthony Stollers are all up still with the team. Line, of course, is out 4 weeks. So they're good.
And Elliott's still coming back from injury.
And Elliott is still coming back. So really, you have Carter Hart and Anthony Stollers as the realistic backups for this team for opening night.
It depends on how long Neuver's out for, obviously.
And that's the thing.
Now, if he's out for the first week or whatever, I think Hart would just be down. They'll be fine just having Elliott for those first few games and have Stollers as a backup and never really play. But if they had more games back to back or closer together, then I would probably say.
So it's, I don't know, man. It's a very, very, very tough decision. So for the pregame notes for tonight's game against the Boston Bruins, here's some.
It was also the team. Just saying.
Yeah.
This is off topic, but this is the game last season where Patrick got into a fight.
Yes,
with
it
Bergeron,
was.
I believe.
I was actually at that game. Yeah. It was with David Krejci.
Not Krejci, that's what it was.
And that was a kind of a shocking thing to see, but it was
a shocking thing, and I was like, "What are you fighting?"
Yeah, right. You gotta protect his hands. But
he did it in front of the home fans, which I'm sure they were happy with.
Oh, absolutely. But so below are news and notes that come out of the morning skate this morning from the Flyers website. Anthony Stollers, who will be back up in net tonight, also took part in the hour-long practice. Dave Hackstall gave an indication of who will not only be in the lineup, but some combinations to watch, most notably the top line. Once again, the Flyers are taking a look at Mikhail Vorobiev on a skilled line. He'll step in between Giroux and Travis Konechny Monday's game. And Konechny and Vorobiev, I can't pronounce his name right.
Yeah.
Vorobiev, those two, they had a great play in the 3-2 loss in overtime to the Islanders. I think that was the score.
On
Friday night, where Vorobiev, he sent like an aerial pass to Konechny. Konechny made a tremendous play and went 5-hole on the netminder. So that was a great play there. So that line really could be a good line for
it could be. And
moving forward.
Now, even before then, all preseason so far it's been Lindblom with them.
Yeah,
and they've all done pretty well. So
and I'm happy with that.
At some point they feel like putting it together, it could. They've seen it work. So.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, they're going to put Konechny on the first line.
They need to. They really need to. Looking at the success from last year,
then,
it would be a mistake not to, in my opinion.
And seeing how the lineups, if you're going from what practice was yesterday and what you're seeing today, because I kind of think it might be Vorobiev, maybe Lindblom and Simmons on that third line.
Yeah.
And then maybe we go fourth line, but even then, I don't know. Or if he's just in the press box.
Right. It's I don't know. It's this is tough just because
also side note that I wanted to say for Vecchione, I don't know how that really stands with him going forward with the Flyers.
Wait, because they sent him down, didn't they?
Yeah. He was like one of the first people they sent down.
That's right. That's tough because the Flyers made such an effort to sign him.
Yeah.
I
mean, it was a tough thing for him to make it too, but
right.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm honestly not sure. But moving forward a little bit, another note to take note of, another line to take note of is Corbin Knight centering Scott Lawton and Michael Raffle. Knight has appeared in 2 preseason games thus far and was part of a rather successful line combination, recording a goal and 2 assists, playing alongside Lawton in a 6-4 victory over the New York Rangers on September 19th.
I don't see it happening, but he could potentially be the 4th-line center.
That is definitely a possibility. Like you said, I don't see it happening. You never know. This team might make a surprising move.
It might be
I think, So with the way the team is looking right now, wrong one. The line combos. So for line combinations, if you're the Flyers head coach Dave Hackstall, what would the ideal lines be for the Philadelphia Flyers on opening night? So far, it could look like this: Claude Giroux, Sean Couturier, Travis Konechny, the first line. Second line: James Van Riemsdyk, left wing, Nolan Patrick, and Jake Voracek. Third line: Oscar Lindblom, Wayne Simmons, and centering that should be Mikhail Vorobiev.
Yeah.
And then fourth line, you have...
I'd be surprised if it's not.
Right. I agree at this point. On the fourth line, you have Michael Raffle, who I think should definitely be on the fourth line. Scott Lawton. And then you just have open spots between Jordan Wheel, possibly Nicholas Obkubel, Dale Weiss, and Yori Laterra.
That'd be Yori Laterra.
Probably.
But the good thing with Raffle on your team is that you can put him anywhere, and he'll still do good for you.
And speaking about that, Raffle can play at any forward position. Will play right wing tonight, and Hackstall said he has been pleased with Raffle throughout camp in a competitive environment. Below, where am I at right here? Sorry, the starting line for tonight: Giroux, Vorobiev, Konechny, JVR, Patrick, Voracek, Lawton, Knight, Raffle, and Obkubel, Laterra, and Weiss. With Provorov and Ghost for the first D-man pair, Haig and Myers, and then Andrew McDonald, who makes his return since an offseason injury.
That's another thing we'll talk about, but we can touch on it.
Yeah, McDonald and Fullen So we'll get to see action from him there. The goalies will be Anthony Stolarz as a backup to Brian Elliott.
Okay. Just transition some more to like the guys that have a possibility
Yes.
of making it, because I want to talk about Vorboyov, Hart, and Myers.
Yes.
I'm going to start with Myers because we're just talking about defense. With McDonald coming back and Sanheim, because if you go by what Hextall said yesterday, that he wanted him with Simmons and Couturier to have a game or two of preseason, he might be good for regular season too, which means I don't know if Myers is making the team.
Right, that's a very good point to make now, because considering the fact, because Myers, he looked like a sure lock.
He did, but everyone's coming back.
And now everyone's coming back, and it's like, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
Because Myers he's looked better than Haig. But the only way he can make it is if Haig isn't on the team. And I have a hard time believing they set Haig down and not.
Oh,
Myers.
absolutely.
Because
and then
even without him, then because if you get Sanheim and McDonald back, then your D pairs are Provorov, Ghost, probably Sanheim, Gudis.
Yep.
And or no, maybe Sanheim, McDonald, and Haig, Gudis. Because then you have Fullen as the seventh man. Unless Fullen's the man that gets sent down.
That's certainly
a
possible.
Haig might then be the seventh, or in the press box. But seeing how
Haig
he's
is
played
too good to play.
He is, but the preseason so far, he hasn't done that well.
Right. Haig's too good to put in the press box, but
he's too valuable.
Yes, he is. He really is. He led the league in hits last year for defenseman.
And then your other thing is Morin once he comes. That's a later in the season thing, but once he comes back,
I think realistically the Flyers might trade Radko Gudas.
Maybe.
Because sure, Gudas is still relatively young, but due to the other players coming up and everything, or just make him an extra defenseman.
That might be how it ends up.
It's possible.
That's why Friedman won't make it, even though he's had a good camp too.
Right. Dave Haxtell has said, I haven't left to any conclusion yet in terms of the roster moves, whether there is some needed or not. We have to play tonight first to see what it tells us. It will tell us a little bit more and give us more information. So, this is so tough. Sanheim spoke to reporters about his upper body injury that has sidelined him for early portion of camp. About his status, he said, I know it's only preseason, but I think everybody likes to play and likes to be with the group, getting better and learning the systems. So, yeah.
Yeah. But moving on to like Hart, because that's kind of going to be an interesting one too.
Yeah.
Is kind of what you do with him. Do you put him as a backup? But the only thing there is I don't trust Hextall. He's not going to play at all.
Right.
And would Hextall prefer him to play? Even though it's just going to be for like a week or so at the beginning of the season. So it's not the biggest of time difference.
Yeah. And what is this? It's something I want to bring up because you know where I'm going with this. So, Bill Meltzer commented on a article someone posted for, or it was I think it was his own article actually. But anyway, they're talking about injury updates, power play, and Carter Hart. Bill Meltzer tweeted or replied to the articles and said, "I'm concerned about the goaltending. I still maintain it is too soon to put Hart in the NHL, and the others have current injury-related or injury return sharpness-related concerns. Stoley has had a good camp overall so far, although Allentown wasn't his best of outings."
Yeah.
Someone commented, quoted the tweet and then said, "Given what we know, have found out about goalie aging curves, it is almost never too soon to put a top prospect in the NHL." Meltzer replied, "I would argue the opposite. Given what we know about the goalie development curves, you better damn sure the kid is ready for a long haul because there will be adversity even if earliest returns are good." I quoted the tweet because I had my own comments said. I said, I agree with Bill 1,000%. Sure, Hart might be the future, but he might not play like he might not play like it if he is called up too soon and rushed. Goalies are the one position in hockey that take the longest to properly develop next to defensemen. Example, Luke Shen, 8th overall pick in 2009, I believe, or 2008, and was rushed to play because the Toronto Maple Leafs thought, oh, we drafted this very high defenseman, and now he's the go-to guy. First of all, yes, I know that Luke Shen is a defenseman,
right,
and also that Hart will still probably put up solid numbers. However, you still cannot rush particular players just because you're excited about their career as well as how they can help the team.
Yeah, you have to be patient.
Exactly. You have to, and Ron Hextall knows this. He's been very patient with a majority of these prospects.
And I can't find it now, but Charlie made a good point last week, saying in a tweet saying that he would like it more if because this is going to be Hart's first time on his own.
Yeah.
And being acclimated to the pro and living on his own. And I kind of wanted him to get, he said wanted him to feel like it would be better for him to get used to it in the AHL than the NHL, which I kind of agreed with. Because this is all new to him.
Yeah.
This whole thing, living on his own, just doing the professional thing is going to be different to him. And if he continues this, for a month or so, his great, numbers and everything, then it makes it hard for me makes it difficult for the Flyers to not want to bring him up.
Right. Something about, you mentioned Charlie O'Connor. He tweeted out about an hour ago. He said, when asked about the timing of next cuts on Sunday, Hextall noted probably Tuesday. If that holds true, Charlie said, I have to think that the absence of players like Freeman, Goulbourne, and Turinsky from tonight's lineup doesn't bode well for their chances of making through that cut. I leave Hart out because no one would think with all the goalie uncertainty they would want to keep 3 healthy guys around in case of disaster. But the skaters further down the camp depth chart, like the above 3, they're not getting that last chance to prove themselves, which is a great point. So, yeah.
Yeah, no.
It's very tough.
It is. Goalies are the hardest thing to kind of get a read on.
Right.
So.
They really are. They really are.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the Flyers and Ron Hextall will do regarding which players remain up and which players will get sent down?
I think the longest looks are going to be the ones that he mentioned.
Yes.
Vorboyov, Knight and Vorboyov will probably be the last 2.
I agree.
Vorboyov, Hart, Myers. Or not Vorboyov. It would probably be Knight, Myers, and Hart the last few cuts.
Yeah. This is I
know.
I'm anxious.
What do you think about that? What would you say would be?
I mean, it's not a bad combo at all. I gotta go back to the Flyers roster because I think Friedman will get sent down. You know, he actually like we said here, he has had a solid camp and gotta give it to him. He took an opportunity. What do you think about?
Has had a better one.
Yes,
there's only one spot available.
Exactly, and if I would give it to anyone, I'd give it to Myers. Yeah. Tyrell Goulbourne, sorry, but he's gone. Yeah. Pascal Auberge, I'm surprised he's
been hurt.
Yeah, but I guess
I'm surprised he's kind of still been up too.
Well, that's what I'm saying, and I get he's hurt and everything, but why not just send him down if you know he's hurt? That's just why I think. I don't know, but for who else? Corbin Knight. That's a tough one. Yeah, that's really a tough one. The Flyers,
because in order for him to be in the lineup, that. Some they would still want Lawton to be in, but if they put, I don't know.
Right.
They also have the problem with Wheel too, and then you have Laterra, which they've his leadership or whatever, and see him as a value on a PK or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. That's another thing that's still been a problem during preseason is penalty killing. I mean, it's a little different preseason because they keep trying different things to test out.
Yeah.
Which is the best time to kind of do that. But that's the one thing the Flyers still have the thing. Because their thing was that they didn't fire LePerriere, which I thought they probably should have done because their PK was so bad. But he felt it wasn't really a personnel issue. It was like other things or whatever, not really turning out well. But they're still not doing that well PK, and I don't know how well they will during the season. Maybe I'll be wrong, but because that's the one thing that kind of lost it for them on Friday night.
Right.
But yeah, the roster's kind of looking more and more like what you would see opening night.
Yeah, I think
like if you looked at the rosters that have been at practice and everything, it's kind of shaping up to be that.
Yeah.
And if you see that Wheels with Goldburn and like Abi Kubel, that's not a good sign for Wheel.
It's not. It's I don't know. It's kind of I don't. It's like
those guys. I don't think we'd be making it.
Right, so and I feel bad for Wheel, but he might be in trouble here.
Yeah.
So we gotta wait and see.
The only thing you kind of hope this season is because there's so many guys with free agencies that it's not something that weighs heavily on them, especially Wayne Simmons. I'm just gonna say that.
Right.
Because he needs a good season again.
He does. And here's the crazy thing is he still had 25 plus goals last year.
Did he?
Yeah. Here, let me pull up his stats here. Last year, he 24, but he put up 46 points in 75 games. For how much he was injured last year, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, but I still would have rathered him go through the surgery than.
Oh, I agree, hands down, because you basically had a player who was not necessarily dead weight, but he
tore both of them. He tore the other one in Game 6.
I know. I feel bad for Simmer. He's a great athlete, great person.
I mean, luckily they said he's probably going to play.
Yeah.
Or they said yesterday he wants him to play, or they think he could play a game or two. Same with Couturier. I know there was the issue there where the other day he left practice early, and people thought that was a bad sign.
Yeah, that was an interesting thing.
And same with Ghost leaving, but Ghost is fine. Mm-hmm. No injuries.
Yeah, that was kind of a scary thing. Is that Ghost?
He left the game, but it was like a precautionary thing. But
yeah, this is bugging me because
my thing was it was precaution because Shengus is too good for where he was playing.
Yeah,
they didn't want him to have score another 2 goals.
Right. Even if the Flyers send down quote unquote send down Morin, but also send down Freeman for their defensemen, I'm looking at Sanheim, Provorov as the players who will play. Mm-hmm. Mac, Haig, Ghost, Gudis. And you still have Fullen and Myers. You'd be carrying 8 defensemen. Mm-hmm. So they have to send down 2 defensemen.
Well, 1. You can have a 7th.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Well, no, because
and St. Fullen hasn't looked that great in camp either. The one I haven't noticed him at all, but the one play he did have, he got turned around and they scored.
Yeah. No, because they still have 10 defensemen on their rosters. Mm-hmm. So the ones that obviously aren't going to make the roster, unfortunately, due to injury, Morin. So you're down to 9. Freeman, that's 8. But then you still have to send one more down.
Yep.
At least that's what I think. Because there's no way a team carries 8 defensemen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's either going to be Fullen or Myers.
8 defensemen and 1 less forward.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. You could do that. It's just, I don't know.
It just kind of screws you over forward.
It does because.
But then you have 2 defensemen and they're sitting in.
Yeah, and that's another issue. I'm just glad I'm not the GM. That's all I
just
gotta
do GM in NHL.
That's exactly. I've already won the cup, by the way. So
congratulations.
Thank you, much appreciated.
It's more than what the Flyers have done.
Yes. Some other news.
Not that I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I don't know if they're going to be able to. It depends who they play, but I don't know if they're going to. I don't know if they're good enough to win a series or go far, but I think
they're going to make the playoffs. I can tell you that. It's just I don't know how far.
Because goaltending is the problem.
It is. Because here's the other thing is,
with Neuver hurt
it all depends on who they play in the first round.
Like,
Every team in the Eastern Conference ducked out so they wouldn't place the Penguins. New Jersey did it.
I honestly think now the Flyers can beat the Penguins.
Really?
Yeah. They match up pretty well against them. Our top two lines.
That's
their top two lines.
It comes down to goaltending at the end of the day.
Our bottom six is better, I think.
I want to look up their bottom six.
And our defense is significantly better.
Yeah, I don't know how they were able to do that well on defense last year. But then again, it was just because...
And they got Jack Johnson, which isn't the biggest of moves. And
so looking at... Yeah, looking at the Penguins...
Because I'd rather play the Penguins than the Capitals.
Honestly, I'd rather have the opposite.
Really?
Because the Flyers always play well against Washington.
They do.
I don't know why.
They do.
Here's the top six for the Penguins. Gensel, Crosby, Sprong, Hagelin, whatever you pronounce his name, Malkin, Kessel, Dominic Simone, Derek Brassard, and Patrick Hornqvist. I think if you insert someone besides Simone there, that's a pretty scary top 9.
But last year in the playoffs, the Patrick line went up against them.
Yeah.
It was better.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree.
Our top 6 line is going to be Couturier, Giroux, Konechny.
Yeah.
Patrick, Voracek,
JVR. Yeah.
The third line is probably going to be Voracek.
With JVR, that gives the Flyers so much more offensive production. Yeah. And because of that...
Simmons you've gotten in years past where he's scoring 30+.
Yeah.
Plus the 30+ that
assists
Couturier has had
last
season and the 100 points from Giroux.
That's really scary. Yeah. And then
Plus you could potentially have a breakout year for Patrick with the people.
You will have a breakout year. I'm calling it right now. There's no sophomore slump for Nolan Patrick, especially playing with a guy like Jake Voracek and James Van Riemsdyk.
Our top 5 can go up against the Penguins.
Yeah, top 6 you mean?
No, 5.
What do you mean top 5? Just like
Giroux,
I gotcha.
Or Giroux, Couturier, Konechny, Giroux, or Ghost, and Provorov.
Right. Oh, I see what you mean now. Yeah, you're starting 5.
They're starting 5.
Yeah. No, I agree. And then the fourth line for the Penguins: Sheahan, Matt Cullen, and Brian Rust. Here's the defense: Chris Letang and Brian Dumoulin, Olli Maatta, Jack Johnson, Jamie Oleksiak, Justin Schultz. Looking at the Flyers, whatever they decide,
their top. You already have. If you go back to what you had before with Ghost and Provorov, that's a good number 1 pair.
Oh, that's easily one of the best number 1 pairs in the league.
I really would like Myers on the team.
I would love
Sanheim Myers. That's another good 2 pairs.
That's a fantastic.
Because then you can have a good 2 number 5s.
All right. So looking at the Flyers defensive pair against the Penguins defensive pair, you have Letang and Dumoulin versus Provorov and most likely McDonald.
Letang isn't what he used to be.
I agree. Provorov is almost better than Letang and Dumoulin combined. Haig and Gostisbehere against Johnson and Olli Maatta. Oh, Haig and Gostisbehere all the way.
Haig and Gostisbehere.
That's what dailyfaceoff.com has. I don't think it's going to happen, but anyway. And then they have Sanheim and Gudas.
The reason why I don't say that either is because when they were together last season, they weren't the best.
Right.
I mean, obviously you're gonna have injuries too.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how guys will get in.
But some other news just going around the league.
If it was me,
and
that's the top 6 I have to go with. Obviously, besides what I just said with Provorov, Ghost, I'd go McDonald, Haig, and then Gudas, Sanheim.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. But sorry, really quickly around the league, and then we'll go back to that. Kiefer Bellows got sent down by the Islanders, which is a little surprising. Brian Giunta announced his retirement. Here's some interesting news from the Detroit Red Wings. They announced that they have assigned center Joe Veleno, their second pick in this year's draft, the 30th overall pick, to his junior club with Drummondville in the QMJHL. I think they, should have kept him, to be honest. That's just what I think, but that's
probably more so now that they don't have Zetterberg.
Yes. Josh Hosan got sent down to the Bridgeport Tigers in the AHL.
That's going to be the most interesting thing, I think, this season.
What's that?
What the Islanders do.
Yeah.
You're missing a huge hole and not having Tavares there. I know Barzell did really great last season, but You don't have Tavares anymore.
No, you don't.
Because everyone was going after Tavares because it's Tavares, and then you gave you open. You don't have Tavares anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably going to have a dip in numbers. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't know. They have a lot to kind of figure out. But back to the Flyers.
Yeah.
I mean, the top 6 can probably be or bottom 6 could probably be a toss-up between the two, but I still think the Flyers could probably take the Penguins.
Okay.
And obviously the Penguins have the better goaltending.
Right.
Which in the playoffs that will come down to. Because I have no trust in Elliott and Neuvert for playoffs.
Right.
Or staying healthy, for that matter.
It's just, oh gosh.
Which is why I wouldn't mind seeing Hart up, but I understand it. The patience of waiting. That's only a couple games into preseason, so.
Yeah.
And he's still putting up great numbers as he did in juniors, but. And he looks calm when he's playing.
That he does.
Like, the thing with whenever I see Linus, I always think he scrambles so much. He's a little off when he gets post to post.
Mm.
But for Hart, it looks no problem to him.
Right. Yeah, I'm just...
Is there anything just for the game tonight that you're kind of want to look out for?
For tonight's game, kind of looking back at the Flyers lineup, I think this is a very good indication.
Is Myers playing tonight, or is there have been? I guess he wasn't one of the guys not practicing.
Myers is playing. He's paired with Haig.
Okay, again.
So I think honestly tonight is a very good indication, minus a few changes, of what the actual lineup could look like. Drew, Voroviev, and Konechny. That the only thing that'll change is Couturier and switch for Voroviev. Patrick, JVR, Voracek. That's set in stone.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be the first. No, they were to go to the other game.
Yeah. Lawton, Corbin Knight, and Raffle. That could be your fourth line.
It could be.
To be honest.
Is Wheel playing or no?
He is not playing. Make that what you will. And then Obkabel, Laterra, and Weiss as the fourth line.
Maybe it's smart to see some of the younger guys that Wheel's not in.
Yeah, because I'm very excited that Obkabel is playing. I think he's my player to watch out for in tonight's game.
Because he's the guy that everyone's so high on, but haven't really heard much from him.
Right. I don't know.
He was always the guy because he was doing so well for the Phantoms last year. That, like, he's the guy that the Flyers should bring up.
I think if he does not make the opening night roster, Obkabel will get caught up in a few months, maybe, depending on where the team is.
Yeah.
Maybe like 2 months tops. I don't know. We'll see.
This is what I don't want to jinx it, but this is probably what's going to happen. Goose gets hurt like every year.
Yeah.
So that I'm going to assume that's when Myers comes up this season.
Yeah. They do have Provorov paired with Ghost, Haig and Myers, McDonald, and Fallen.
I don't know why you would ever take Ghost away from Provorov.
I don't know. That's literally the world's greatest defensive pairing, besides Carlson and Burns. I knew where you're going with that.
Wait a minute.
Hold up.
Well, it would have been better if we went to Tampa Bay.
Yes.
Hedman and
Carlson. My God. Either way, that would have been scary.
I feel like this is just a side note that just to kind of look forward to for next offseason is all the free agents that are going to be out there.
Yeah. Someone asked Bill Meltzer, who tweeted out the Flyers lineup for tonight.
Oh, did you also hear? Mitch told me yesterday
What's that?
The Flyers did make a trade offer for Panarin during the offseason, but they said no. It wasn't enough.
Wait, where did Mitch
I don't know
that?
where Mitch heard it. I wasn't paying that close attention, but I just heard the Panarin.
I'm going to text him like, so about this Panarin trade offer, where did you hear this?
Yeah.
But anyway, Elliot, someone asked.
And that's why they didn't get the trade, and that's why they said JVR.
That's interesting. I wonder. I really want to. Okay, I think I found it now because I had to look this up. FlyersNation.net sent out the report 3 days ago. Flyers tried to land Artemi Panarin before settling for JVR. In the latest episode of 31 Thoughts, the podcast with Jeff Merrick and Elliott Friedman, it was revealed the Flyers made a run this offseason to try to land Panarin.
That's interesting.
That is very interesting. Well, here's the other thing is, do you think if, depending on the team situation, Flyers could make a run for him at free agency, if not at least a deadline? Because no matter what, if I was Columbus, regardless of where your team is, this is Panarin and Bobrovsky's last shot with your team.
Yeah,
It's literally Stanley Cup or bust for Columbus. I would say that's the team's motto every year for any team. But
hinted at saying I don't really want to come back.
Yeah, and I think same thing with Bobrovsky. I don't think he's planning on coming back either. Either way, Panarin. If I was Columbus, the moment I can see the direction of the team, I think regardless, you might just be better off trading both Bobrovsky and Panarin at the deadline. Because Panarin's not coming back, so why not get something for him? Don't let it be a John Tavares situation and just let him walk.
Yeah.
Trade both of them. Why not? Get as much value as you possibly can.
Yeah.
That's what I got to say about that. But for really quickly about Brian Elliott.
But then they're also probably going to think, what if they're like right in the playoff?
Well, and that's the tough part is like I would want to.
But if they're falling off.
If they're falling off, trade them.
Just a baseball kind of analogy, but the Nationals traded all their players when they were kind of falling off too.
Yeah.
If that's kind of what they do.
It's fair.
Is that, well, we're falling out of the race for the wild card or whatever.
Yeah.
It might be best to maybe trade them or listen for what they could offer.
Right.
I feel like when they did trade Panarin, I don't think they just gave up Saad, right? It was just Saad for Panarin?
I'm pretty sure Saad for Panarin straight up.
Yeah. I think it was just a contract kind of thing. The money.
It was a 4-player deal.
Oh, it was. So
Panarin, Tyler, and Mott. That was a bad loss by Chicago, I think, in a 6th-round pick for Saad, Anton Forsberg, and the 5th-round pick.
Okay.
So yeah, that was
the only thing is that most likely you're going to lose them both, and I don't know what much you have left. You have a pretty decent first pairing, but you lose Panarin, and then you lose Bobrovsky. Yeah. You don't really have your starting goal, and you lose a good winger.
Right.
They might start falling off.
I think so. I think regardless, they need to trade them both. It just depends on how much. Because you're going to lose Panarin.
Mm-hmm.
You know it.
Yeah.
And it would be silly not to.
It's the same thing I was saying with Tavares, but that was I guess it must have been a last-minute thing.
I guess.
How do you not try to make a trade for him?
I don't know. At least Ottawa got something in return for Carlson. Now, I'm not saying it's the greatest return, but it was something.
They had the whole year to
that
do with
too.
that, but
it was something.
Mm-hmm. It was either going to get it done when they did or trade deadline.
Trade deadline for sure, yeah. Or even the draft one makes sense.
No, they wouldn't have had him by the draft.
Right. Well, no, because they would have technically.
Yeah, technically.
But then the team would have to sign him. But sorry, really quickly here about Brian Elliott. Bill Meltzer said he'll probably at least play 2 periods. Wouldn't be shocked if they try to get 60 out of him. Stoller, who's backing out tonight, was the lone player slated to dress tonight who participated in this practice. I don't know if
heart or bust.
I love it. There goes your mic. I think that there's a slim chance that Anthony Stollers might play tonight. I wouldn't mind it, but because I know Elliott needs a lot of.
He's played like 1 game.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Period too. I don't think he played long at all.
Oh, that's
really
frustrating.
Just to kind of test out everything too. Coming back from injury and surgery in the off season.
Yep.
And so he's ready for the regular season. And if he's not, I wonder if the Flyers maybe try to get a goalie.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that you kind of think of now. But you just kind of wait and see with that one. And I think that anything else you need to, or anything else you're seeing?
That's about it.
Yep.
Just looking forward to tonight's game. 7 o'clock start. Against
Looking forward to seeing Gritty out there.
Yeah, Gritty is the backup goaltender. Woo! He'll get some
Woo.
playing time.
Yeah, he will. He better be on camera. First row.
Oh yeah, he's behind the glass, right behind Hackstall. Every time he makes a mistake, Gritty's just staring at him like this.
Or he's just
No,
this
Gritty
is what you do.
has
This is what you
googly
do with him.
eyes.
You just put him behind wherever the goalie is. The opponent goalie is, and you just have him stare the goalie down the whole time.
Just shaking his
just
finger, or just like have him at the penalty box. Like
no, he doesn't do anything. He just sits there.
He just
staring at the goalie.
No. Or put him in the penalty box and have him sit next to the player on the opposing team.
Yeah.
Imagine Marchand going into the box and he just looks at me and he's like, "I'll lick you if you touch me."
Yeah. Or like he sees the goalie coming towards him at the start of the period or something, just waves. Just does a little wave or something.
I love it. Just hello.
No, it's more like this.
Oh yeah.
Just make it creepy on him.
Yeah, right.
Get into his head. But I think that might be it for this podcast. We'll see how the Flyers do tonight and then later in the week and see who gets cut. But until then, we'll see you next time.